Machine Gun Kelly, the uber-popular rapper, is an enigma, with styles that have been broadly described as hip-hop, pop rap, and rap rock. So far, he has produced 6 studio albums, most of which have been to critical acclaim. He has also tried his hand at acting and can seemingly do anything he sets his mind to. Today, we are discussing his rich lifestyle and how he spends his millions, so don't go anywhere. First of all, let's discuss his beginnings. Born Colson Baker in Houston, Texas, in 1990, Machine Gun Kelly moved around a lot when he was younger. From Egypt to Germany, his family finally settled in Denver. However, young Colson was bullied due to his father's lack of employment and depression, which is terrible for someone so young to have to deal with. He found solace in rap and also started to experiment with drugs. During this time, he recorded a demo entitled Stamp of Approval. His musical career really took off in high school when he convinced a local shop owner to moonlight as his manager. Got to hustle any way you can, right? It was in this period of his life he was christened with the Machine Gun moniker due to his rapid-fire lyrics. Around this time, his father left the family and he was forced to fend for himself. He also stopped attending school during this period. In 2005, his father returned and moved the family to Kuwait to find work. When they returned, MGK attended high school in Cleveland. So how did he get his big break? The aspiring rapper made news in 2009 after becoming the first rapper to win amateur night at Harlem's Apollo Theater, which is a pretty big deal, let me tell you. After his success at the Apollo, he released a series of mixtapes along with multiple performances at festivals around the country, which led to a meeting with Bad Boy himself, P. Diddy. MGK ended up signing with Combs right there and then, and released a single shortly afterwards called Wild Boy, featuring fellow rapper Waka Flocka Flame. Next came an album in 2012 called Lace Up. Rolling Stone said of the album, Cleveland finally gets its very own Eminem, a clever, working-class white kid who fires nail-gun rhymes in dense clusters. Kelly has had to deal with obvious and often lazy comparisons to Eminem his whole career, for the simple fact that he's a white rapper. During this early part of his career, he signed a deal to work on a clothing line with Young and Restless. What's your favorite Kelly track from the earlier part of his career? Let us know in the comments as usual. What happened since then? Stay with us to find out. With 2015 came his follow-up to Wild Boy entitled General Admission. The LP did pretty well, peaking at number 4 on the Billboard 200 and topping the hip-hop charts. His first top 10 was simultaneously the first for featuring artist Camila Cabello for their song Bad Things in 2016. His third offering came a year later with Bloom, which included guest appearances from Quavo, Ty Dolla $ign, and Haley Steinfeld among others. 2018 brought an unexpected push into the limelight, after Eminem resurrected an old beef about a comment Kelly had made years before about the Detroit legend's daughter. Eminem released Not Alike, firing obvious and direct lines at Kelly, who responded with his own diss track aimed at M. Ultimately, the mini beef did wonders for his career, as before that he was pretty much B-list. Sorry, Colson. He used this newfound exposure to his advantage and released an EP followed by 2 more albums in the 2 years directly after. Since then, he also tied his hand at acting, most famously portraying Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee in The Dirt. Have you seen The Dirt? How did you rate Kelly's performance? Next up, we're delving into how MGK spends his millions. So stay where you are. So as we know, the rapper has done rather well in his fledgling career so far, releasing 6 albums and appearing in films and TV shows. Bravo! As a result of this, MGK is worth a reported $10 million. He's done pretty well, right? So, how does he spend it? For someone who works as hard as he does, we cannot begrudge him splashing out a little. I mean, you can't take the money with you, right? He has reportedly bought some toys that fit the lifestyle, shall we say, and has a rather impressive car collection. He recently spent around $200,000 on an Aston Martin Vantage DB11, and why not? As well as the luxury Aston Martin, he also owns a range of Flash motors. Also in the collection is a Lamborghini Gallardo, a Rolls-Royce Phantom drophead coupe, and a 1979 Chevy Camaro, and a Mercedes-Benz S-Class. He doesn't just stick to 4 wheels either. He is also the proud owner of a Harley-Davidson. Cool! Which of his cars would you choose if you had to have one? Or would you go for the Harley? Let us know below. So apart from the cars, what else does he spend his money on? So, as well as all the cars he owns, it turns out the young rapper enjoys somewhat of a jet-setting lifestyle. He has been pictured with girlfriend Megan Fox heading out to Puerto Rico for a cheeky break. Nice! Last year, the Bloody Valentine rapper purchased a house in LA's upscale Sherman Oaks neighborhood for a reported $25 million. I guess if you can afford it, why not? Once owned by world-famous fashion designer Calvin Klein, the property boasts a huge garage, perfect for that car collection, dramatic 13-foot ceiling, and movable walls of glass. Yes, you heard. They moved to give access to a huge garden, complete with infinity pool and incredible views of LA. The master suite in his pad is one of 5 en-suite bedrooms. Sounds amazing, right? As well as this incredible property, MGK is covered in tattoos, which don't come cheap. Apparently, the rapper has 78 different tattoos. One of his tattoos says, F fame, it killed all my favorite entertainers, which is kind of ironic given the level of fame he is now afforded by fans. Since meeting Fox, the couple have moved into a $30,000 a month Airbnb, also in Sherman Oaks, with reports of MGK falling out with neighbors. Oh dear, seems like a costly argument. Next up, we're looking at some of the rapper's feuds, so stay tuned. Starting in 2012, as we mentioned earlier, Kelly wrote a tweet commenting on how he thought Eminem's daughter, Haley, was hot as F. Pretty disrespectful, especially about someone who he classes as one of his biggest influences. She was also 16 at the time, which is super creepy. Baker claimed that this was the catalyst for Eminem blacklisting him from numerous radio stations. I mean, if you play silly games, you win silly prizes, right? In 2018, MGK featured on a Tech 9 track, with M claiming the verse was about him directly. Slim then fired back with Not Alike, with Baker firing back with his own M diss named Rap Devil. The feud has carried on back and forth, with each of them replying when the other releases a diss track. After Kelly had been photographed with singer Halsey, her ex G-Eazy wasn't exactly over the moon at the pictures. In 2018, G-Eazy appeared with a new bleached blonde look, which MGK instantly claimed was an attempt to look like him. Imagine. The pair then went back and forth, much in the same vein as the Eminem beef, releasing a couple of diss tracks. The pair ended their feud in 2019 after an intervention by none other than, wait for it, Eminem! What a guy. What is your favorite M track? Let us know below. Any more beefs then? Well, now you ask. Yes! Stay tuned to find out. And one of the more bizarre music beefs, Kelly and Slipknot have been at each other this year. The beef started with Corey Taylor. Lead singer of Slipknot was interviewed and revealed he is not a fan of any recent rock music. He then goes on to call out MGK directly, saying he hates artists who fail in one genre and move into another, saying, you know who he is. Wow. Did he fail in hip-hop? We're not so sure. What do you think? Anyway, a few months passed when Kelly appeared at Riot Fest and paused during a set to mock Taylor and the Slipknot boys, while both were performing at the same time on different stages. He goes on, y'all want to know what I'm happy that I'm not doing? He shouts out into the crowd, being 50 years old wearing an effing weird mask on the effing stage. Language, please, Mr. Gun Kelly. This seems to be a direct correlation between Machine Gun Kelly beefs and when he is preparing to release an album. Are we being overly skeptical here, or is it just a coincidence that every time he's prepping to release an album, he's seemingly locked in a war of words with one person or another? Let us know what you think about our theory below. As always, thanks for tuning in, and remember to join us next time. Bye, guys!